In today's video, we look at the 10 best documentaries of the 1990s. The 1990s was a decade of great cultural change and evolution, and film was no exception. Documentaries became increasingly popular during this time, and many movies were made that are still considered some of the best of their kind to this day. In this video, we'll take a look at some of the most influential documentary movies of the 1990s, including some familiar and some lesser-known titles. So, pop some popcorn, settle onto your couch, and dive into the world of documentaries from the 90s. If you like our videos, support us with a thumbs up, subscribe to Factual America, activate the little bell, and look forward to the videos we upload for you every week. First up is Hoop Dreams, 1994. This 1994 documentary follows two young high school basketball players in Chicago, William Gates and Arthur Agee. The movie chronicles their journey from talented high school basketball players to their struggles to make it to the big leagues. Director Steve James captures the ups and downs of the boys' lives, which are full of hardships, challenges, and triumphs. The documentary is a classic because it is a perfect example of what documentary filmmaking can achieve, capturing real-life stories and experiences in a truly captivating and engaging way. Next up is American Movie, 1999. Set in Wisconsin, American Movie is a documentary that follows filmmaker Mark Borchardt as he tries to make his own low-budget horror movie. As the movie unfolds, we see him facing countless struggles, including financial, creative, and personal. The film is both funny and cringy at the same time, and it's a great reminder of the struggles that filmmakers go through to bring their visions to life. Directed by Chris Smith, American Movie is a must-watch for all cinema lovers. Our number 3 is Hearts of Darkness, A Filmmaker's Apocalypse, 1991. Hearts of Darkness, A Filmmaker's Apocalypse is a documentary about the making of Francis Ford Coppola's classic movie Apocalypse Now. The documentary is directed by Fax Barr and George Hickenlooper and features interviews with Coppola, Martin Sheen, and other actors in the cast. The documentary is both fascinating and harrowing, as it chronicles the extreme stress and difficulty that the cast and crew went through during the making of the film. It shows the true cost of making art and how it can affect the lives of those involved. Crumb, 1994, is a documentary about the life and work of underground cartoonist R. Crumb. Directed by Terry Zwigoff, the film is an intimate portrait of the artist, capturing his unique sensibilities and idiosyncrasies. The movie explores the creative process and the connection between art and mental health in a very insightful way. Crumb is a must-watch documentary for anyone interested in the art world and artist biographies. At number 5, we have The Celluloid Closet, 1995. The Celluloid Closet is a documentary about the history of LGBTQ representation in Hollywood movies. The documentary, directed by Rob Epstein and Jeffrey Friedman, features interviews with prominent filmmakers, actors, and critics examining Hollywood's treatment of LGBTQ characters throughout history. This documentary is important because it sheds light on how the media influences society's perceptions of people and their rights. This movie is an essential watch for anyone looking to get a better understanding of how art and culture can push for equality and inclusivity. Here we have The War Room, 1993. This is a documentary that takes us into Bill Clinton's rough-and-tumble 1992 presidential campaign. The documentary follows the team of strategists, pundits, volunteers, and advisors who worked on Clinton's campaign in the primaries as well as the general election. The War Room syncs perfectly with the various personalities on the campaign trail, and it makes for an engaging documentary. It brings viewers an insight into American politics and the inner works of a campaign. And after a tense primary race with Jerry Brown, the Democrats take Paul Tsongas out of the equation, and Clinton becomes the undisputed candidate, and the rest is history. The Beatles Anthology, 1995, is a 6-part documentary series chronicling the rise and fall of the Beatles. The series is entirely made up of interviews with the members of the band, their friends, their families, their colleagues, and their fans. Through extensive archive footage and candid interviews, the Beatles anthology provides a complete guide of the iconic band from its humble beginnings in Liverpool to their dissolution with the release of their final album. It's a must-see for fans and music lovers alike. When We Were Kings, 1996, brilliantly captures the historic heavyweight championship fight of Muhammad Ali and George Foreman in Zaire in 1974. The film provides fantastic context for this fight, with mini-bios on key people involved, and extensive footage from Zaire in the weeks leading up to the fight, which was billed as the Rumble in the Jungle. It ultimately gives a deeper, more nuanced look at Ali, as we see this boxer can't escape his status as a larger-than-life cultural icon, rather than just an athlete. At number 9, we have The Civil War, 1990. The Civil War is not just a protracted battle, but a battle for the soul of this nation. This documentary series brings forth this soulful aspect of the Civil War and chronicles one of the most important events in American history. The series mixes more traditional historical footage with photos and voiceover narration from a collection of historians and period journalists. It was a bold undertaking to make this series, and it won critical and popular acclaim. Lastly, we have Looking for Richard, 1996. Al Pacino directs and stars in this film, which gives us an exciting and compelling take on Shakespeare's classic play, Richard III. The documentary mixes rehearsals, interviews, and on-location shoots. Pacino's energy and passion for the role of Richard are infectious throughout the film, and it makes for a riveting watch. The 1990s was a decade filled with incredible cultural growth, and the documentary genre was no exception. From tales of young basketball players struggling to achieve their dreams, to intimate portraits of artists and filmmakers, the documentary movies of the 90s showcase the power of storytelling. These movies may have been made years ago, but they still have the power to make us laugh, cry, and reflect on our lives to this day. So fire up your streaming services and take a trip back in time to relive these iconic documentary movies of the 1990s.